So we're sitting down to talk about a company that Farron's launched. It's called Be HUEmane. And so Farron has asked me to sit down with her to ask a few questions to introduce the company to the mass public. I've been brought in on it, and I feel like I've been brought in on like a little hot secret. But it's my pleasure to be a part of this because Farron is somebody who has been a big sister to me. She's been a role model. And when I look at who she is now, like it's barely recognizable. You are not the same person who you've been when we met.
Well, that's kind of good because you don't want to stay the same.
Right.
Like, want to get better.
But I mean, the one thing that I think has always been the same and always been consistent is that you've been an amazing person, a good friend, and I think a good human being.
Oh, thank you.
So it makes sense for the company to be titled Be HUEmane.
Yeah. What's your name?
Oh, you don't know me? No, I'm AJ Foster. I-L-Y. No, I'm joking.
Were you really about to give me an Instagram hint?
I'm joking.
He's not. He's not.
So let's play a game real quick. I'm going to call this like fast response.
Okay.
Spitfire, something along those lines. So, who inspires you the most?
My parents.
Why?
Because they have a good mix. People say, I know that you would say that I'm a lot like my mom. You know, fiery personality. She's always been a go-getter. When you walk into a room, you always know she's gonna be there. That's her. And then, you know, my dad is like more laid back. His approach to things are a little more chill. He's extremely spiritual. They have a very good balance in this. You know, their approaches to things are extremely different, but it's always for progression. And that's something that I admire about them. All right, I did this, now what? Like, what's the next step?
You've been to a lot of places. You've been to continents, states, countries, all over the world. Out of all the places you've been, what's your favorite city and why?
Oh man, when people ask me this, it depends on what day of the week it is. It depends on the mood because I fell in love with places for different reasons. I would say, you know, Southeast Asia has awesome food. Awesome food, great prices, you know, that you can get anytime during the day. I went to Italy not thinking I would like it, and I loved Italy. The food, oh my gosh, the wine, if you love wine, like, and then, yeah, of course I would say wine. And South Africa, that was my first time going to, that's my only country I've been in Africa. And I'm actually going to Tanzania this fall, which I'm really excited about. But South Africa was an eye-opening experience because I travel all these places and there aren't a lot of people that look like me, you know? And this was the first place that I traveled outside the country and it was like, this kind of feels like home. Like everyone looked like me. That was a beautiful thing. I had never experienced that at any point in my life.
You grew up in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yep.
So in American education, what do you think is the one subject that needs to be either be introduced or that is not stressed upon enough?
Okay, so there's two. I think that there needs to be more emphasis on learning other languages because we grow up in an education system where we're only taught English. You know, they try to sprinkle in Spanish and French, but it's not on an aggressive or a serious level, and it basically instills this belief that English isn't enough. Studies about people of color in the States. More information about, more things about what actually happened with Native Americans. More things about, like, you know, the current issues that people...
They actually look like us.
Right, and then, you know, the issues of people of color in the States, those things aren't taught.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so the last question is, if you could bring back someone from the other side, someone who's transitioned, who would that person be and why?
Oh, that's very easy. I think you know my answer. My grandmother. I would love for her to, because she was always so proud. Like, you know, I would love for her to see like my sister and myself.
What is Be HUEmane?
Okay. So, you know, I've been doing travel with Farron, group trips for a while, and it was just focused on travel. And then over the years, like I've been teaching English. Even though I'm teaching, it's a learning experience for me. And it gives me a little insight on why language is so important because how we choose to communicate says a lot about us. And then with all of my escapes, we always do some type of philanthropy because it's always been important to me. You know, I go to all these places, have all these great experiences. Here I am taking from a place, definitely, I have to do something. I have to know a little bit about the economy. I know what type of issues face this place. I don't want to be like a blind tourist type of thing. So focus on one of the main issues that the country has. Like when we're in Cambodia, sexual trafficking is really, really prevalent there. So that's why we partnered with an organization that is helping to fight that and helps with women transitioning from that environment and putting them back into society. In Bali, while we were there, we worked with an orphanage. And because we have short stays, these activities have to be, you know, have to cater to the amount of time we're there. But what I do like about it is that it exposes myself and the people that I travel with to other issues that they wouldn't know about.
That's important.
And that's the biggest thing. It's like, you know, it's a gateway.
Right.
And I've seen some of the people that have been on these trips then go off and do something similar themselves. That's the thing that kind of drives me to be able to, you know, get someone to get a little bit outside of their comfort zone, and that in turn makes them a better person, makes them see the world differently,
makes them more humane.
Makes them more humane. Hey, I want us all to win. And, you know, the reason why I want us all to win is because it's like, you know, that's what it means to me to be humane. It's like you want the betterment, you want other people, you want to see everyone do well. So I was like, okay, you know, this is what humanity means to me, but it's, for some reason, people of color are always left out of what's humane.
That's major.
That's who's left out. And so the spelling and the emphasis on hue is because I want it to be inclusive of all shades. Like
so it's H-U-E.
Yes.
M-A-N.
M-A-N-E.
N-E.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Be humane.
Be humane. And hue means shade. We're all different shades. I want everyone, literally. I don't want you to miss the point that social inclusion is driving us. To be able to have the same type of experiences, to be exposed, to be knowledgeable, to be educated, so that we can all help each other. The way that my escapes are structured, like, you know, I know. The way that my escapes are structured, like, it's 3 parts. Like, you know, it's some adventurous portion. Like, we've been kayaking through some beautiful floating villages. So, you know, we've been on some of the most intense hikes I've ever been on. We've been zip lining. We've been, you know, we've done all types of things. So it's like this adventurous portion to stress the importance of, you know, trying something outside of your comfort zone. And then it's like a cultural portion. And the cultural portion is part of whatever our philanthropy project is. And then there's also having dinner in a village or going to a cooking class to learn how to cook native dishes, or going to the New Year's festival of this place, or, you know, a really, really cultural experience. And like in Bali, we went to, we were there during their New Year. And the way that they celebrate New Year is very different from how we celebrate New Year's in the States. Like, you know, it's the New Year is about a cleansing period. Like, you get rid of all of your demons, your bad energy from the year prior before you step into the new year. So everyone's building these statues. They're called oga-ogas. Okay. And there are these huge paper mache caricatures that look like demonic. And the people are so creative. So we were there for the period of maybe 10 days. So we're seeing them being built. And so much creativity. So much creativity. So then on New Year's Eve, all the villages, they come together and they compete. Like the oga-oga, it's like an oga-oga competition. And it's basically like, oh, whose demon wins, like type of thing. And then the next day, well, I think the same night or the next one, they destroy all the statues. Because it's like, you know, everyone, regardless of who wins. Because you're cleansing. And then the New Year's Day is a day of silence. And it's just so you can reflect, you can plan, you can, you know, you're stepping into the new year like pure. Yeah, the last portion is an escape. And it's escape because I want people to escape from their traditional thoughts of what a vacation is going to be. The traditional expectations that you have. This means, like, you know, an American leaving America and coming with American standards.
So I want to switch gears a little bit because I think that you hit on something that's major. So you said that people from different walks of life have come on to these trips with you, onto these excursions, and they've made friends and had experiences for the first time, and built friendships from that. And I think that what's most interesting about you, when we began this, I said that the person who's sitting before me is barely recognizable in comparison to the person that I've known like my entire life.
Okay.
All right. And it's not a bad thing because, like you said, like if you're not growing, something's wrong.
What are you doing?
But I think that what the audience may not know about you that I know about you is that you are very relatable, right? And I think that the reason why you're so relatable is because through each phase of your life, you transitioned into a different type of person. So like when we were in high school, like for example, like we went to a predominantly white high school, right? Towson High School, THO. It was cool. We studied law and public policy, so we're major, like that was our focus. That was our niche at the time. You went off to college to a predominantly white school and studied business, right? And then you left the business arena and went into government. And I mean, you kind of stayed in like focus on business, but at the same time, it was something new. And I think that what's beautiful about all those different transitions and then where you are today is that you have developed a language, like a rhythm that's universal, and that regardless of who you encounter, there is some way that you'll be able to relate to that person. That's how I see it from the outside. But what I want to know more about is how you transitioned from that person who had like straight hair and designer this, designer that, Alpha Kappa Alpha, sorority incorporated, all of that.
I'm still that though. The thing is, like, travel has definitely given me the, helped me structure value.
Okay.
Like what types of things I should value and how I should value certain things. And that's because, different countries, I see how society moves, and sometimes I go somewhere and I'm like, oh, this thing that I really thought was important isn't that important. Right. Travel is one of the best educators ever.
So, I mean, what I think I hear you saying is that over time you just become like more liberated. Like,
yeah.
You gained a stronger sense of what freedom truly is.
Yeah.
It's not what America has taught us about freedom.
It's not. It's not. The thing is, you just need to realize that we are all different. Right. We all have different walks of life. We all have different goals. We all have different interests, and that's okay. It's funny because Tracee Ellis Ross does a speech on, I think she did it in the fall last year, and it was when she was with Glamour. And she talks about how so many people measure, even for her to be as successful as she is, so many people have measured her success based on the fact that she is not married and she does not have kids. Yeah. She was like, I have a golden globe. They're like, oh, are you going to have kids? Right. Like, oh, there's still time. And she's like, okay, like, that's like, I still have, accomplished a lot of things. Don't discredit me on these other things just because I'm not fitting into your box of what success is.
How does it differ from some of the other major travel groups that are out there? Because the Black travel movement is big.
It's huge.
So what's so special about it?
It's huge. It seems that a lot of these other groups are focused on bringing people together in another country, but the standards of living are still very similar to westernized standards and type of experiences. Not to say that that's right or wrong, but that's just what I've seen. Granted, there might be others that aren't like that. I don't really know much about them.
So tell me this, like, I think that one of the biggest hurdles for people to overcome when it comes to travel is the finance part. So do you offer like any research flights for people?
My prices are competitive, and that's because my sole purpose is to encourage more people to come. And so it's like I'm not out here trying to break anybody's pockets. Right. Like I'm not. I want you to come. I want you to experience things. So I try to keep it, close to the $1,000 range.
A trip to Nicaragua for 7 days, under $1,000.
Yeah.
Wow. So we always talk about like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Like we've literally been asking each other this question since like high school.
We said 5 though.
We used to say 5, and then like we realized
5 years
we
not
weren't
enough
achieving
time.
everything within 5 years. Stop asking about 10. You said you'd be married to an NBA player.
It was an NFL player, so there's that. But we grew in different directions, and so that part is interesting.
Right. My question was, where do you see Be HUEmane in 10 years?
Okay. In 10 years, so I talked about, the importance of making these types of connections. I want people to build connections amongst other people that we travel with, and then I also want them, I'm giving them the opportunity to build a connection with the country that we're visiting. Yeah. And then ultimately, in 10 years, I want Be HUEmane to have all these different types of information about different ways you can volunteer abroad. And for these partnerships that I've made with all these places to then be something more substantial where someone can come and stay a couple of months or like a year, just so that people have a direct line of contact with this organization.
All right, so let's look more short term. Where do you see Be HUEmane within the next year?
Okay.
What's lined up?
So right now I'm really excited because this September I'm hosting my first wellness retreat.
Okay.
And I have all these great ideas and like I have all these feelings on how like I want to make the world better. But when bad things happen, it's always important for us to be able to process them in a healthy way.
That's major because a lot of people say they want to be like global citizens and they want to make the world a better place and all of that, but truthfully, it all starts within.
Absolutely.
So, like, be a good citizen of, like, yourself. Yep. Like, take care of the things that are inside that need to be addressed before you can move out with it. I think that's major. I think we covered a lot of great material, and I think that if I didn't know you personally and I was watching this, I would definitely want to jump on board with one of your excursions because of all of the things that you've highlighted. So how can members of the audience get to find you? How can they contact you? Your social media outlets?
Yes. So my blog website is allisfarron.com. To J.K. Rowling, because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. You know how she ends the Harry Potter series, all was well. So that's how All Is Farron started. And then I have Be HUEmane. The website will be live soon. I want to put this interview on there. And those are the 2 avenues. The 2 websites.
The website selected?
Yeah. Be HUEmane. It's BeHUEmane.com. It's already up. You'll see right now there's a page that's like coming soon, but all the retreat information is up there. And then All Is Farron. That is my blog and website.
AllisFarron.com.
AllisFarron.com, exactly. And then my Instagram is Miss Farron, MS Farron. Farrin. Yes, Farrin. I should put it somewhere around here. But those are the main ways to reach me. I'm really active on Instagram, and people that don't know me always will hit me up and stuff like that. So don't feel shy at all. I have no issues with that. It's actually things that I actually encourage. Because you don't know unless you ask. So I appreciate it. I knew that because the way that you know me, and because the things that people want to know, I was like, oh, he'll be fine. He'll be good. Well, thanks.
Thank you.